Hi Cancer, welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Cancer, this is your what I call higher frequency love reading. It's going to be a bit different today. I can't do it the same way that I've done it before. So I'm switching it up a bit to follow the instructions mainly and to follow where I am going. And I sort of have to take the message with me. I'm going to start to do the sort of normal reading that I've done before and sort of tune into where you're at right now and the guidance for that. And then we're going to move into a silent, I'm going to explain more, but a silent path in the reading with this gorgeous mystical wisdom deck. I'm going to draw 14 cards and I'm going to explain why for you to look at to sort of reboot and reset almost everything about yourself, if that's your choosing, to step into this way higher gorgeous energy love, if that's your will. And then I'm going to do the extended sort of on the other side of that, if that makes sense. It is of course the other side of that, but sort of we're starting with the reading, we have a silent reading, and then the extended is all about what happens after that. So you will feel whether you want to come there or not. I just have had beautiful shifts myself. Saying beautiful today, it was a bit sort of, it was almost like I was leaving people behind. And yes, I have been leaving people behind. But it was almost like 2 or 4 or 5 people all of a sudden sort of exited out of my life for various reasons. Very different reasons, but still exiting. Not completely being gone, but still. And it's like, it was almost like a little grieving period to let go of certain people and to let go of that lower energy. It's almost like a lower energy field or foundation has let go. Or I should say I let go of, maybe. And so that immediately put me into a higher frequency state. And it led up to the 5th of July, the full moon on 5th of July. And after that, it's like I can't go back to read the sort of normal love readings because it's not true anymore. And if you're not resonating with the new frequency place, you're going to feel that immediately. And there's so many other readers out there that's still doing it sort of the third dimensional way, and you're going to continue to just be drawn into whatever fits you perfectly. So just feel where you land in this. I just have to bring up the crow. The crow has been following me around, and not until I did the Gemini reading just now. The crow is now starting to make sense because I have a bird story from Capricorn, and long story short, it has connected me in with the most beautiful people, and the shifts has taken place both on an energetic plane but also physical plane. And this crow, I thought this crow was sort of the new face or the new symbol for the new soulmate connection. And I thought sort of that the crow was an upgrade after the peacock. So if you have been listening to me before, you know that when I speak about peacocks and unicorns, that sort of a symbol has just become one over the years. Don't ask why, I don't know myself. A peacock and a unicorn, when those shows up, it's like, okay, soulmate connection around, there's going to be a soulmate connection made here somewhere, somehow. And I felt like, okay, so the crow is like the next level peacock. It felt like peacock 3-dimensional, but when they show up in the 5D, it's like, no, that's going to be the crow. When I did the Gemini reading, it's like this now, so I thought the bird was having a process, and yes, it does, but even the message itself is sort of now transforming. It's going to be so interesting to see where I land on Pisces, like the last sign here, because it feels like it keeps shifting and changing with each sign. It's like an upgrade happening. And what I learned through the Gemini reading, you might want to have a look at it if you want to. Maybe that was in the extended. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just going to tell you instead. So I understood, I think it was in the extended, I understood that, wait a minute, hold on to your panties. Not panties, pants. Maybe somebody wants to hold on to their panties as well. Yeah, I was like, wait, the crow is not the upgrade of the peacock. The peacock is the peacock and it's going to continue to be a symbol for the soulmate connection. But the peacock is upgrading. So there's never going to be the same peacock again. Just never ever going to be the same again. Just going to be such an upgrade of it. The crow is the indicator. The crow is the show wayer, is the way shower, is the guidance. And so it feels like now, okay, wait, so the crow is just pointing in the right direction right now when it comes to this higher frequency love. That's what it feels like right now anyway. Maybe going into the Leo reading, it's going to feel something different. But that's what it feels like right now and for you. So maybe there's some crow incidents in your life that the crow is now sort of pointing you in the right direction. And what they're doing. What are they up to when you see them? Or what are they not up to when you see them? Something like that. So I'm going to see where you're at right now. Do the normal read. And then I'm explaining more when we get to the silent part. Okay? So I'm using the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue. So Cancer, what's going on for you in your love situation? And I don't fully really know how it's going to look like. The love readings are going to look like in the future. Maybe they're just going to blend in beautifully with the other. So it's just going to be a bunch of general readings. And if a real love connection wants to come out, it's going to come out. Or I'm going to just continue to do love readings, but there's going to be sort of a spiritual twist on it always. This is so interesting. It's almost like a continuation of the Gemini reading. It's like we're starting where the Gemini left off, because Gemini left off here. Guys, you might want to check out every reading this week. For love, you might want to start with the Aries, and you might want to, because I feel like there's a process here happening. And there might be real information here to follow and to feel and to just sit with. And not just have it be another reading that you're sort of so-and-so listening to. And obviously, whoever wants to make this step or take this step, there's going to be so many million different ways that you can take this step, or that you're shifting and you don't just shift with one thing. This is a process and it's over a period of time. And you probably have already been in this period of time. I'm just saying you can really use this. You can use this reading and you can feel into the energy that's being transmitted as I give you these messages. Okay? So we're starting where Gemini left off. That was before the silent cards and the extended, I have to say. So 6 of Gabriel. 6 is all about the connection in with yourself. I didn't even say the frequency of the number today. I'm so in this different place. The frequency of the number today is 8. We have the number 8 as in 8 of July. And 8 is all about the infinity. As I say that we're in the 8th minute, and there's something to that as well. That we're so expanding the time right now. Before maybe we were talking about what happened last week or happened last month. And now it's like, what happened an hour ago? That was so last minute. So last minute has a different meaning now. It's like infinity is here. It's infinite impossibilities. It's infinite possibilities. There's so above, so below, so in heaven, so on earth. You're strongly bringing something in right now. It's a strong manifestational number. It's power. It's strength. So gorgeous foundation. And then with the 6, that is you coming in together with yourself. That is you connecting in with the higher power, with your inner being, higher self, whatever you want to call it. So there's a blue door there. There's something about choosing authentic love right now. Choosing what authentically feels good and real for you. What is truthful, what is real. And with this 6, it's like coming into alignment with yourself. and just completely strip away anything and everything that doesn't support the authenticity that I feel like you're now stepping into. That's the blue door. And it's like you're looking at it, like you're glancing over it, like should I enter the blue door? Should I go through that? Because it's like once you go I just have the expression in my head. Once you go black, you can't go back. Once you go blue, there's the new you. See what I did there? That was awesome. It's like once you go through this door, once you go through this blue door, you sort of can't make excuses anymore for certain people in your life, or you sort of, I think you're just going to raise the vibration so you don't even have to. Meaning, if you're working, we think so many times that we need to work on the other person, and we need to work on this relationship, or if they did not do this or did not do that, or if they did do this, it would be so much easier for you. But it's never about them. It was never about them. They're mirroring you, just like these cards are mirroring. They're mirroring what is going on your inside. And if you raise the vibration around it, you sort of don't even have to deal with what other people are doing, because you're going to start to attract what is now authentic, what is now real. So it feels like you're sort of deciding, you're sort of weighing in on determining whether to, and yeah, you might really want to check out the Gemini reading, because they feel that it felt for them like it was a real choice, like they had a choice to, should I stay in this or should I leave this? But it was more like, should I stay in this or leave this relationship? This is more, should I stay in this energy that I'm in, or should I choose a higher path? Like, should I go with the more authentic version of myself, like the more truthful? And I think that's for some of you, that's not even a choice. That's just what you will do. And on the bottom it says, congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. You've done a wonderful job. I'm going to stop right there. And as I said that, you've done a wonderful job. It says 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. So I feel like there's been a process for you, definitely a process for you. And you're starting to, we started with the number 1 on the new beginning, and we're now in the number 4. That's all about being in the heart and making the right decisions from the heart rather than from the mind. We're stepping into this next card, which I just absolutely adore. I just love it. And some people really, really don't love it because it speaks about change and shifts. But for me, that is just awesome. So we have number 16 there. And 16 in itself stands for sudden shift and sudden change. The actual card is called Change Your Life. The skyline, like and the skyline in Swedish is like just, I think you know what that is. Like you're looking out over the city, and the lights are just creating this most beautiful, like from a far distance, it almost looks like just a line of light. You don't even see the buildings, how tall or short, or it's just the skyline. It's a line in the sky, and so it's really being represented of the light. The light is coming in at night here, and it's like you have this overview, you have this perspective now of this. It's almost like it doesn't even matter how dark it is or how dark it has become, because you know where to look for the light now. Like you're enlightened. You're having this light around your head, like a halo, gloria in Swedish. Complete light around your head. So it's like you know where to look. You know how to attract the light in. You know where to find it. So it sort of doesn't bother you one bit that it's dark. And when you look at it if you come too close, it just looks like a building that is maybe having some of the lights on, maybe even having some of the lights off. Maybe you even look at one building that has no lights on, that looks completely dark when you're really, really up close. But if you're standing really far away, you couldn't tell with that perspective what building is completely dark and what building is somewhat dark and what building is completely light, because of the distance from it, because of the perspective. So there's something about, if you just take on a different perspective, you just stay focused on the light, there is nothing but beauty. Like, that's probably the most beautiful, when you sort of stand somewhere and you overlook a city, or far away there's lights, they appear so beautiful. And so there's some sort of shift in focus and shift in perspective now, coming into this light or lighter place. This is also very blue. It feels very blue. That is this most authentic version of yourself. So you're choosing something different. I feel like it's almost not talking about you being in a relationship. If I didn't see like the next card out, it's almost like, no, you're going it alone. And you probably are up until this point. Cancer, you're choosing, and if you're in a relationship, it feels like you're on a very, not lonely, but very, it's a solo journey, like you're going it alone. Change your life. That's the second number, is 6 there. And then we have 10 of Raphael. So 10 is a completion. So it's like you're looking at that blue door, you're thinking about, maybe I should be a bit more authentic. Maybe I should be a bit more true to myself. What is it that I really want? Like, to stay true to you and not sort of give your power away to others and completely change your life. I think just that focus or intention to sort of not give your power away is gonna change everything for you. Which means you're staying more in your own energy, you're staying more in your own love. Because then comes 10 of Raphael, and 10, the completion speaks about love and blessings fill your life. Harmonious relationships with family members, happily ever after. And I always say that this wardrobe is a bit questionable. You're going on your little picnic date, you're picking out your perfect outfit. I think it's a bit outdated, but your match is a true match, so they're picking out their same outfit. They're matchy. And I'm drawn to talk about the turquoise. There's something about the turquoise color. For me, the turquoise, I don't think that is necessarily for any of you. I just want to say what it's about for me, because the turquoise color is the color of the deaf community, the sign language. My oldest son is hearing impaired, so we're using sign language, and the turquoise is representing that. So there could be something around it that you're using sign language, like you're using, this is the love language. This is you don't need words. Me and him doesn't need words. We don't need words. We can only, and the interesting thing is that, and he has taught me so much about vibration and so much about how to listen in. Like, I think my biggest awakening has been through him not being able to hear, because you sort of have to read between the lines. You have to feel what's going on when he can't express it with words. And there's something to that with this card, that so maybe you are having somebody around you that you literally maybe are using sign language yourself, or you just have that connection with certain people, or you might not use sign language, but you don't need words. You're just talking anyway. And I think that's one of your gifts also, Cancer, that you're able to feel what other people are feeling. Like that's a strong gift that you have. This is, though, talking about, and I think this is new. I think this is new for some of you guys, because I feel like this is not It's almost like you've been single, or if you've been in a relationship, in a committed relationship, this is some sort of commitment. This is like, okay, so maybe you were living separately, but now we're moving in together, or you were moved in together, but now we're sort of getting engaged. Whatever that is for you, it doesn't have to be engagement or getting married, or it doesn't have to be any of that. It's just, I just feel like it's sort of the next level of this relationship. Or if you're single, this is like you coming in together with this person. When I say these words, it's almost outdated, and I don't want to disrespect. I don't want to sound arrogant. I don't want to take away if somebody just met somebody and they're head over heels and they're so like happy about it. I just feel like even talking about whether you're single or in a committed relationship or whatever that is, it is sort of not important. What's important here is to just continue to describe the love and to describe the higher frequency love and where we're headed, if that makes any sense. So this is what I feel like this is where you're headed. You're just really coming into this most gorgeous relationship. It literally says happily ever after on the bottom. Here comes the lawnmower. Love and blessings fill your life. Harmonious relationships with family members. Happily ever after. And you're speaking without speaking. It's like a connection that is really, really beautiful. It's so interesting because the rainbow now comes through with a very strong turquoise color. It's where the blue meets the green. So if you look at it specifically, it's still like, yes, it's still blue and green, like the shift between, you're not going to see that. The shift between blue and green, but like, again, with a bit of perspective, that's interesting. With a bit of perspective, it looks turquoise. So it's something about, if you're up close and personal, like if you're in their face, if somebody's in your face, you're not seeing the real truth. If you're just taking a step back from it, the blue is coming out. The authenticity around it is going to be shown. But this is like, this is almost you starting this gorgeous new frequency place even before this silent part. I love it. This is where you're headed. 10 of Raphael, completion. We're stepping into this most gorgeous relationship. Telepathic relationship is what it feels like. So you're changing your life and then you're coming into this gorgeous relationship. Okay, I'm gonna do this and I have to explain because I'm gonna do 14 cards. 12 is all about the masculine, 13 is all about the divine feminine, and 14, if you've listened to me for a while, you know that I kept coming back to 14 and I didn't even know it myself when I continue to say, if I were to be in love with a number, if I were to choose a number out of all the numbers that I would be in love with, it would be number 14, because 14 is so freaking beautiful. And now it sort of has turned into, okay, if masculine is 12 and the divine feminine is 13, it's almost like the next level. So the higher frequency number of love is 14. I don't have anything to back that up with. I'm just saying what comes through, and it feels really authentic when I say that. And so I'm going to do that I'm going to set the intention with those 14 cards as the frequency for you to now watch. And guys, if you want to, you can really take this, and I don't want to say this is so serious, but you can really make a thing out of this to really shift an energy here if you want to sort of maybe even pause the video for a bit and find a quiet place or put headphones on or really sit in silence and take in not just the cards, but the turquoise. Take in what is not being said with words, but what truly is being said with energy and the vibration in between. Okay? And if you want to, set the intention that you want to go back to the blueprint. You want to scale away and strip away anything and everything that was put on you as a suggestion that this is what love is supposed to look like, this is what love is supposed to be, where most of us has sort of developed this almost fear and insecurity and unworthiness of what love really should look like. And even if you haven't, you can still go back there. And there's really no going back. There's just this, for your own sake, for your own purpose, to just feel, okay, I'm beginning again. I'm stripping down to the very authentic version of myself, the blue, and I'm stepping into this higher frequency love. That's a choice. So if you want to come on that journey, I'm going to start to shuffle, and I have the 14 cards come out, and I'm going to show them to you. It's going to sort of move through a bit quickly, so just feel them, feel what you're feeling around it, and sort of let it go and move on to the next card. And at the end of it, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to turn off the video, and then you feel like if you want to come into the extended or not. There we go. Excuse me. So it's also interesting that they want to come in a particular order. Different cards will spark different things. I might pull them. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I feel like we already have started to move into this goddess energy. This flipped, but it didn't want to come out, so I'm going to put it back. Well, then I don't know which ones to choose, so I'm just going to do this again. There you go. 13. As I would say in Swedish. Okay. Just allow for all the energies to be here, to heighten the energy. And here comes the sun. Okay, here we go.